Welcome to Realtor Therapy with Steph and Cal.
We're your hosts, Stefanie Campbell and Kelly Dugan, top producing agents with the Gold Group at Properties Christie's International.
With over 200 million in sales, we've seen it all. The wins, the losses, and the downright insane moments that come with being a realtor.
This podcast is your no BS, unfiltered look into the world of real estate.
Whether you're an agent needing a therapy session or looking to level up your game, we've got real stories, real problems, and real talk.
And hey, if you're a client, stick around. You might just pick up a few trade secrets.
Let's get into it. Hello.
And we're back.
Do we know what episode we're on these days?
I think this is 44, but I'm not 100%.
Okay. So something I did that I haven't done in a while, I went to our little forum to where people can submit topics, and I'm going to be a lot better about checking it, but I need our lovely listeners to be better about submitting it because we do have a couple on there that we haven't talked about on the podcast, but I think it would be really cool to like start every episode with like one thing from there. Don't you?
I mean, I love that.
Like a little kickoff in a way.
Oh my God.
This one is actually funny. I haven't read it to Stefanie yet just because it's hilarious because it doesn't really, you'll see.
Oh my God. Okay. Here we go.
I always see women in real estate as the most upkept, good looking, and confident women out there. What are physical care aspects women keep in mind to be performing at their best, especially with a demanding schedule? And I just think that's so funny because we often joke about how we don't look this way most of the time.
No, I'm saying we look really crappy on the podcast a lot of times because if we're in here filming, it's because we're not seeing clients.
Right.
So that's why we usually look like crappity doodah on the podcast. But for showings, we do have to like.
I mean, yes, we look presentable, but like.
No, I will say, actually, it's really funny. I want Molly to do a reel like this. Have you seen that reel
Yes.
where like the agent like the first year and like they're like the trendiest clothes, the fanciest car, the
the expensive watch,
the agent
heels.
like 100 million in sales, and it like rolls up in the PJs like half out of it, barely,
still on
like,
the phone with someone.
Yeah, because you're just like hanging on by a thread.
Yes,
at that point. But that's hysterical.
I
What
know.
other? Do you see the other questions they ask that correlate? Like, isn't there?
No,
other,
we just have what would you like to hear us talk about? If you have any questions, you
but
want us
did
to
they answer any of the other ones? Like, isn't there 3 questions?
Yeah, like, are you enjoying this podcast? Everyone has said yes. What can we do to improve the podcast? People put like answering viewer questions.
Okay.
People put literally nothing. You're both amazing.
Somebody
Love
said
that.
wallpaper.
Wallpaper. That probably was me when I was trying to get you to do wallpaper.
Oh my God. Okay.
Actually, no, I don't. This honestly, it probably wasn't me because.
Oh, I know. Behind us,
I was pushing that.
We tried
this was
to
like
put wallpaper. We could put like a piece of art or something behind us. I wonder.
I'm just waiting to design our new studio in your house.
Well, I have it.
Okay, I can't wait.
Okay, but
okay,
back to the question.
Yeah.
Because what did Molly tell us? Stop jumping around. Finish our thoughts.
Yes, we're going to be better about the ADHD thoughts we have on here because we tend to start talking about something.
We both
and then,
have ADD.
I know it's bad. It's
okay.
just jump into another. But I thought this is very
really
nice.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious just because, and yes, we always do look presentable, but there are a lot of times where, like, if you are asking me to go see a house,
what do realtors do to look good though?
Oh,
what do women do to look good? How about that? Come on, Kelly, tell me.
Well, yeah, you know what, you too, because you do. We both, I feel like, do minimal effort, but we still like,
I work out every freaking day, and you don't know it. It's like so annoying.
You do know it. I feel like.
Well, I guess imagine how bad shape I would be in if I didn't work out.
I think working out every day is a huge thing for honestly anyone, any profession.
I will tell you, I met with a nutritionist on Monday. Again, like I've met with her a few times, and I was like, this week it's making me feel very motivated.
Good. To
like log all my food.
Oh, no way.
What?
Just another chore.
I know, but I have to. Like I have to.
Okay. If that works for you.
I need a tighter leash because this lady, I mean, you should have seen me in Alabama. Even my husband is like, people will probably be like, I can't believe your husband would do that. But even my husband has been like, I can't believe how much you're eating. Like, it's like, he's like, I was kind of like, whoa, why are you like,
nah, y'all.
Yes.
We all have our days.
I know. Thank God I have thick skin because there's a lot of women that wouldn't be able to handle that kind of feedback.
But I think, okay, so the gym I think is so important for not only your physical, appearance, I guess, but your mental. And I think that reflects your attitude. I think that sometimes your attitude and the way that you treat people is honestly the best thing that you can wear. And if you are, this is at least my rule of thumb, if I am in a position to where like it's a last minute showing, I'm crammed, I have this and I have that, if I'm wearing like my workout clothes on a showing, which tends to happen, like I don't look like I'm a complete bum. Like I have nice leggings, I have nice white clean gym shoes on, and I have, that kind of thing. So I think just being overall like a clean aesthetic would be good. Like what is your what are your thoughts?
Read the question.
I mean, obviously facials work, Botox works. If you want to get Botox. Like all those things.
I have not had Botox since December.
Whoa. Well, it wears off in the summer because of the sun.
Well, and I usually get it more frequently than I have. This is a long time since I've had it. Shout out Dr. Shaw. We gotta take care of this when we get the chance.
My cousin Danny is my go-to girl.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Danny.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to go see him before I left for Alabama. Didn't get to it. I just need to go.
I don't think it looks bad at all.
Well, thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome. So that
facials, Botox, workout, and try to not eat like a crazy person.
But what I like about this little questioner is performing, to keep their mind performing at their best, and that right there to me is 1 hour of moving your body a day. You don't have to go to the gym and lift crazy heavy weights. Move your body for at least 1 hour a day, and that works wonders for me. On days I don't have time to fit it in, I feel a little bit more edgy. I feel a little bit more like, I don't want to use the word anxious, but just not as clear. I'm not as clear minded.
I've said this. You know what's funny is I actually, and I go back and forth on whether I think this is whether I think it's good or not, but a lot of podcasts that I've been listening to lately have said that creatine. Did you take creatine?
No, kind of scares me just because of the rap that it has.
That's what it is. Like people think of like these like teenagers that are trying to build muscle,
right?
And, whatever.
That was the thing in high school.
Look it up. I mean, it is supposed to be really great for like focus and mental and your brain and like all of these things. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Skinny Confidential. Again, I've talked about this podcast.
I've never listened to that podcast.
Such a good podcast. Such a good one. I love it.
Wow.
I don't know who, it might have been like Gary Brecka talking about creatine on there. I can't remember, but
I'm open to it. I love a good new supplement.
But there's some people that say like for women it does make you kind of bloated though.
Oh,
like it carries water weight or something.
I don't want that.
I'll take the mental. I'll take all the brain juice I can get.
Okay, so yeah, that was our little viewer question there. So guys, please, love you for life. If you guys just are like, hey, I wonder about this, type it in and we'll discuss. But our topic today, because Stefanie and I have just both went through deals where this became an issue a little bit
together. It was so weird, right?
Yes, because I don't do many of them. So village inspections, I have found, which correct me if I'm wrong, I do a lot of my business in Will County, and I don't really ever come across required village inspections. Basically,
what county is Moni in?
It might be Will, but I mean, anything I've sold in Moni, I literally, the 2 village inspections I've had this year have been in Blue Island and Country Club Hills.
Okay. I had a bad experience in Blue Island.
Yeah,
too,
it's in Will, and you have
Moni is in Will. Yeah.
I have a listing in Moni that's going to close.
You need a village inspection.
It's in Green Garden, though. Do you think that makes a difference? Different school districts, everything, different boundaries. I need to ask Jason.
Oh, my God.
Is Jason the attorney on this?
No, he's not.
Shoot, August 22nd.
Oh, you got plenty of time.
Well, that brings me to my story, because don't wait too long.
No, do the village. Okay.
Let's start
Rewind.
over. No. What is a village inspection, and how is it different from your home inspection that you get?
Okay. So a village inspection is required literally by the village that you're selling in, and it's required to whatever the village inspector finds. They want you to make any of those repairs prior to closing. Okay. So with and it's non-negotiables. It's not like you can negotiate these things. You have to have them done before you can close. Not to the request of the buyer, not anything to do with what the seller says, solely to do with what this village inspector decides needs to be done on this list. I mean, they have their own codes that they of course follow, but is there some inspectors that might pay closer attention to things that others wouldn't? Absolutely. That's what's so crazy. So anyway, just
I'm literally texting Jason right now and asking if we need to order it, because I've actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I've sold a handful of houses in Moni and I don't ever remember a village inspection. So
maybe it was because we were in town.
Maybe because I don't know if I've ever sold in 201 district. It's always been Peatone School District that I've sold in. So maybe
the school district would have nothing to do with it, though.
Well, I know, but it might have a difference of boundary being Green Guarded Township.
Yeah, that could be.
You know, whereas
it could be unincorporated.
Right.
So like anyway, just have them find out. So point being is that, like, just so for a newer realtor or a client, like a buyer has their own inspection, right? Those items are fully negotiable between the buyer and seller. I often hear the term, oh, did the inspection pass or fail? Does not exist in a regular buyer's inspection. There's no such thing as a pass or fail. There's a problem that we want fixed or a problem that we don't want fixed. And the buyer and seller do not have to agree on those things, okay?
The inspector that you hire for your home inspection literally gives you basically a report card of everything that's wrong with the house, and you choose what to do with that information. They don't say pass or fail. You choose, do you want to ask for stuff? Do you want to cancel the deal over it? Are you good to go? There's no pass or fail.
Exactly. And then now with the village inspection, let's just say you wait until, and also know that not all villages require them. Okay. The whole purpose of a village requiring it is because, let's just say it's
money grab. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Right. I would think that it's for villages that maybe have problems with the quality of homes and how they're being sold, and maybe it's the village trying to up their game. So maybe if it's an area that's not so high end, maybe that village is trying to protect those homes' value to make them, when they are sold, it's a way to motivate the change, right? So like, let's say that they don't let you sell with broken windows. Okay. Well, that's a great way. Like if you're selling a home and it's got broken windows, doesn't that look so junky for the village itself? So what they're going to do is force the seller to change those broken windows before they're allowed to actually close on their home to the buyer.
But do you see where all of these issues lie? Because let's be honest, if a seller is selling their home with broken windows, do we really think that they're in the place to get new windows?
No,
probably not.
They're not.
So it's really, it's a double-edged sword. And it's also what I learned. So I didn't know that Country Club Hills required a village inspection because I never sold a house in Country Club Hills until this deal. And I thought we're all fine and dandy. We did our home inspection. My buyers, they were great with the home inspection and said they would take it as is. There was no major issues. They were good to go. So then we're like 3 days out from closing, and the agent's like, yeah, I just called the village to schedule the inspection and they can't get out until next week. We have to, delay closing. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, this is going to be longer than...
You're on the buy side?
Yes.
On the buy side, it's not really your responsibility, though.
I know, but this is how I knew it wasn't mine because, I know it's the list side, but if I had known that that was a requirement, I would have probably asked her 2 weeks ago, hey, did we get that scheduled? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's like, no, I advise my clients to wait until the end because it has an expiration date and there's no sense in them paying for that village inspection if our deal falls through. So again, I'm just like, okay, like the way she explained it, I'm like, I guess that makes sense. So I called Jason and he's like, no, because we have no idea what the village is going to come back with. Like, this is all going to be subject to. And then the agent was saying, so my question to you is, if your buyer submits an offer on a house that requires a village inspection and they mark as is, do you think that as is paragraph on the contract is the same terms that apply to the village inspection? Like, do you think that everyone's like, well, no matter what the village comes back with, buyer's taking it as is? Or do you think the as is portion only applies to their home inspection that they ordered themselves?
I think that probably whatever the village, this is the problem. This is why I'm pausing. I'm tempted to say that I see both sides.
Right.
Right. Because
I'm just telling you because this was a 12 emails paragraph form of Jason and this attorney going back and forth arguing about what they thought this meant.
Oh,
yeah. So that's why I want to know.
That's really juicy. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically the reason I say that is because the village can force the new buyer
right
to make those changes.
The village is
That's
requesting
the problem. Is because maybe that seller, maybe that buyer is okay with the window being cracked, right?
But the village isn't.
But the village isn't. So they were going to live with the cracked window,
Mm-hmm.
right? But now that the village is requiring it, that buyer now has to come out of pocket to pay for it when they weren't budgeting for that.
Correct.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
I kind of think it's two separate things, and you need to know what in fact is being required.
Yep.
Because the as-is paragraph doesn't apply for things that you don't know about. It has to be things that you know about.
Exactly.
So I kind of am thinking it's at the very least the responsibility of the seller to present those items as far ahead of time as possible so the buyer can decide whether they're comfortable or not with those as-is things.
Yeah. So do you see how this big problem occurred?
So I would say I'm on the buyer side.
Yeah. That was me and
Yeah.
Jason. And
Yeah.
so we were arguing. So I called the agent back. I'm like, hey, clearly, and everyone's getting, I mean, Jason and this other
Wow.
attorney were fighting so bad back and forth. So I called the agent. I'm like, look, we can all agree that you dropped the ball a little bit on ordering this village inspection. This probably should have been ordered a couple weeks ago.
See, we thought this was a short
Yeah.
podcast.
I
Okay.
said this probably should have been ordered a couple weeks ago. So my clients were informed on what the village would require to be done and if they are even okay with doing it, because basically the village doesn't care if the seller or the buyer does the work. It just needs to get done. If the seller's doing the work, it needs to be done before closing. If the buyers are doing it, if the buyers are doing the work, they have to go to the village and put up a bond, and they have 6 months to get the work done that was required. Okay. So the village inspection is, scheduled. We get the results back. They want the driveway to be resealed. Mind you, I just got my driveway resealed and it was not cheap at all. Like it was,
Do you know how much it was?
It was $11,000.
Oh,
Granted, that was the whole driveway, and I have.
Does he have a very big driveway?
It's a longer driveway, yes. So
okay, this is one of those tangent moments. Go ahead.
okay,
Go ahead.
so I knew what that costed. So it said like driveway resealed. What else did it say? Oh yeah, then they're requiring you to show certificates of things. They wanted to see certificates of an operational fireplace, certificates of an operational furnace. So like we have to now get contractors in to write up these certs.
Are you kidding
No.
me? This
So-
is not the buyer's responsibility.
Thank
Are
you.
you kidding me?
But they kept on arguing because we put as is on the contract.
Doesn't matter.
That's what I said.
Doesn't
So
matter.
Jason's going back and forth. Jason's like, as is totally nothing to do with what the village is requiring. Now my clients need to
I
do
could
all of
imagine
this
him
work.
getting so
He was fired.
fired up.
I called the attorney directly, the seller's attorney. I asked him, I go, can I please, because I noticed it was a little bit of a pissing match and I don't like those. So I'm like, can I just please call? He goes, be my guest. So I called her. I'm like,
Oh, is it a woman?
it was a woman. Yeah, she was older. And I was like, Maria, I don't understand how, like, my clients, when they agreed during attorney review to continue proceeding the sale as is, how does it make sense for that to apply to issues that they were unaware of that needed to be done that are not cheap items? I go, a driveway being sealed, and then the certs were just a pain in the butt. And then there was like two other things that weren't like huge deals. I can't remember.
Oh my God.
So we're going back and forth. Mind you guys, we're like literally 2 days out from closing. So, I mean, we ended up, my clients, I called the village and I was like, I need a little bit of more clarification on what this driveway thing entails. Are you guys just asking for some patches to be resealed? Do you guys want the entire driveway resealed? And they were like, no, just basically the patches. So essentially what the village does is they require you to put a bond up to what they estimate the work to be done to cost. So their bond was $1,000.
Oh.
So yeah, not bad, but it's kind of like, okay, who's the village to say what that's going to cost? So we actually went ahead and we found individualized quotes for everything. My clients were okay with it. And, we ended up closing and everything was fine. But moral of the story is these village inspections are no joke and they can really hold up a sale.
Screw up a deal
So
badly.
if you are selling in a village that requires this inspection, get that inspection done as soon as you possibly can. that way you can present all of these items to the buyer and figure it out before you're, not at the final hour. And yeah, that was my experience. So what has your experience been?
So insane. Basically kind of the same thing. My client with their village inspection, they actually had a village inspection. Let's just say they had it a year ago. Okay. It expires at more than 6 months old, they expire. Okay. So he had his old village inspection. He accomplished everything on the list for the village inspection, minus like a few things that he knew about. And then he had to get a new village inspection, and that guy is going off rambling a million new things. Okay. That my client had no idea about. We're literally, it was like, let's say it's Monday. We're supposed to be closing on Friday. So it was like very last minute.
Again, down to the wire.
And then inspector's like, oh, there's no way you're closing on Friday. And I was like, what?
Now, mind you guys, when a closing gets delayed, it sounds minuscule, but like then we're talking about rate lock extensions. Now there's going to be fees for that. Movers are scheduled. We're also talking about people who've taken off of work and planned their entire weekend or day of or whatever it may be, like pushing closing back at the last minute.
Parents
like that.
Fly in to help. Like, I mean, it is. Guys, there's so many things. And
utilities scheduled. Like,
yeah, so he also, like, one of the things he pointed out, for instance, was like the porch that wraps around, the posts were 4 inches apart. Or no, they were 6 inches apart, supposedly. He wanted them 4 inches apart. Because he tried to tell me that a baby could stick their head through it. And I was like, what? I was like, no kid is crawling around on this porch and going to stick their head through these posts. Like, absolutely not.
Well, and that's just idiotic. Like, are you going to require them to put a fence in their front yard so the kid doesn't run out into the road?
Like it's so, yeah, exactly. It was so, like, some of this stuff, like, just did not make sense. And I was, like, basically begging this older man. Like, I was like, please don't put that on the report. Yeah. Please don't do it. Like, it was just, my client had to jump through so many hoops to get this to close. And it was my seller jumping through the hoops, not trying to say, like, he wasn't like a battle with the buyer. Yeah.
It's the worst, because I do agree with what you said about why you think they do them, for
there is some, it makes some sense. Yeah.
Also too, another thing I learned about village inspections, Country Club Hills is not one of these, but there are villages, which this to me screams money grab. I don't know about you. There are villages that have a list of certified vendors through them that you're only allowed to use to do the work.
Okay, that seems crazy.
Yes. I mean, and that's what I had to clarify when I called the village, and they did not. As long as it was a licensed contractor, they were fine. But there are some villages there you have to use their people to do the work. And to me, I'm like, that is, I think, really ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Something that's a little bit off of topic than this, but it just kind of reminded me that I wanted to talk to you about is, okay, have you been seeing lately any repairs required coming back on a conventional loan?
No.
It's happened to me twice.
What?
In the past 3 months. And I even talked to a couple agents that are like, I've been seeing this on conventional loans too. Yes. So I talked to this lender, and he was like, yeah, there's some, basically FHA, they were mad that they were mad that conventional, like Franny and Fetty, they didn't want conventional to become the fallback of buying crappy properties. Because, if you have a broken window, you're conventional, you're fine. If you have this, you're conventional, you're fine. So they have been starting, and I've seen it literally twice. I had a conventional loan that required my client to replace 2 deck boards before we closed.
Are you kidding me right now?
No. So again, back to it. And this is actually the lender who sent me that mail today. We were at closing. He came to closing. And I was talking to him, and I'm like, is this now a thing? I'm like, why is this the second deal that I've seen repairs come back on a conventional loan? And he said that, Franny and Betty, whatever. But then he goes, you want to know another thing that's really messed up? He goes, because for this specific one, my clients, they replaced the deck boards literally that day. And I was begging, because we were closing the next day. I was like, will a photo suffice? Like, does this appraiser really need to come back out to the property to make sure?
This is nuts.
Yes, to make sure these deck boards are fine, or will a photo. And luckily they were like, a photo is fine. So we took photos and we ended up closing and we were fine. But the lender at the closing was telling me, he goes, appraisers get to choose if they need to come back in person to re-look at it. And he goes, and if they go back out for a second time, the buyer pays for it.
That is nuts.
So an appraiser, if they require,
get to choose whether they make money on it or not.
Yes, they get to choose if they get to make more money to go back to make sure if it's done. And he said when an appraiser goes back physically, takes time out of their day and has to go back to make sure something was repaired, that was because, or not saying that was because, he goes, that buyer is paying for that. So fast forward, I had another conventional. This was my second one on it. This is in Tinley Park,
God.
Conventional loan again. They were requiring a railing to be put on the wall to go downstairs to the basement because there was no railing. Conventional loan again. So the appraiser comes back with that, and we're kind of fighting it because we're like, again, conventional loan. Somehow the lender, they made an agreement that the buyer was going to do it after closing. Okay. So we were like, okay, cool. The buyer has to do it after closing. Their problem, not ours. 2 weeks after we closed, this appraiser calls me. He's like, hey, Kelly, I've been trying to get a hold of everyone at that of your listing. I got to go back and, make sure that railing was put on. And it's so bad. This is after I already knew this information. I wanted to be like, are you kidding? You're going back to make 400 and something. I mean, I don't know if they make that, but it's the same cost as a normal appraisal for them to go out and the buyers pay for it. So
that's really effed up. I'm gobsmacked.
Yeah. So
If that's the right word. I don't know, but wow.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that because I'm shocked that you haven't seen that because I've seen it twice.
But I'm sure it's like coming down the pipeline, as I say.
And it's like, again, if it was something, if there was a crazy safety hazard, I could be like, okay, fine. But to replace 2 deck boards and then to put a railing to go down to the basement, I was like, yeah, it's not mine. I was just like beyond myself. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then when that appraiser called me 2 weeks later, just because he was trying, I was like, those aren't my clients anymore. You're gonna have to get a hold of them. Literally, those aren't my clients. I was on the list side. He called me to schedule it, and he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, just chasing it around. Go make sure that railing's on there, dude.
It was already closed?
Yes.
But how would it have gotten closed if you didn't have proof?
Something with, I called the lender and I'm like, this is BS. We're on a conventional loan and they're trying to make my clients put a railing or whatever. And he was like, I'm going to figure this out. And then I talked to the agent. She's like, the buyers are going to just do it after closing. So something was agreed upon to where the buyers were going to take care of it after closing.
Oh my God. I am like, this job.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you have it.
Well, that was a really, that took a turn.
Yeah.
That was
I didn't even remember that story until we started talking about it.
Okay.
All right.
Nice to see you guys again.
Yeah.
We'll be more regular now that,
don't forget to upload your topics, guys.
Yes, please submit topics. We love talking about them.
All right, guys. Bye.
That's a wrap on Realtor Therapy with Steph and Cal.
If you loved what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on social media.
Got a wild real estate story or a topic idea?
Drop it anonymously in the form in our show notes. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep hustling, stay sane, and remember,
we're all in this together.